Good evening. This is the September 8th, 2025 Design Review Commission. Called to order. Roll call will begin. Glenn Cass.
Travis Kaiser, President.
Richard Stanton, present.
Okay, we have two absents, Armin and John. Adoption of the agenda. Do we have an adoption of the agenda as written, or do we have any revisions?
I'll move that we adopt the agenda as written.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Public comments under the purview of this commission that are not on the agenda tonight. Any public comments on Zoom or otherwise? Okay, moving on to consent calendar. We have the draft minutes of meeting from August 11th, 2025. Do I have any recommendations for motion to approve, or do we have any amendments to those?
I'll move that we approve the minutes as written.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. No study sessions, no continued public hearings, new public hearings. First one, DR 0525 Paladin. This is a request for design review and a variance to allow construction of a 107 square foot garage addition, 650 square foot first floor addition, and 408 square foot second floor addition, and a 294 square foot bonus rooms. The variance is in the setback requirements, and Madison will be the staff presenter tonight.
Thank you. Good evening. My name is Madison. I'll be presenting DR 0525 B1125. This is a design review and variance application for the addition remodel at 1211 El Curtola Boulevard. All right, on the screen above, lower left-hand corner, you'll see a vicinity map of the site, which is located east of Pleasant Hill Boulevard on the edge of city boundaries. Top right is the context map showing the site highlighted in green. This is a 16,000 square foot lot zoned R10, and it's located on the west side of El Curtola Boulevard. This site could be accessed by taking Old Tunnel Road to El Curtola. You'll now see some aerial imagery of the site. This shows that the existing residence sits at a higher elevation to the neighbor to the south and a slightly lower elevation from the neighbor to the north. It also sits at a slightly lower elevation to the home across the street, across El Curtola Boulevard. The site plan is shown on screen. The existing house is about 1,700 square feet in area with a 370 square foot one-car garage. As mentioned, the project seeks a variance. I'd like to note that the existing garage currently is non-conforming to the front setback, sits at 5 feet 9 inches. The proposed project, which includes a series of addition areas, are shaded on the site plan. It proposes a house just over 3,000 square feet in area with a approximately 500 square foot two-car garage. The front setback will be reduced to 5 feet 4 inches, which is an additional 5-inch encroachment from the previous condition. There's about 800 square feet of new impervious surface area proposed as part of the project. You'll see the existing floor plans shown above. The lower floor plan, it's about 550 square feet of living area. It's just existing bonus room on the lower level. The upper floor is about 1,200 square feet of living area. Proposed lower floor plan, you can see above on the left-hand side where you see the wet room and the primary bath is where we'll see the lower floor plan addition. You can also see that the existing non-utilized space beneath the house is now proposing multiple bedrooms coming out to just about 1,200 square feet of living area. The upper floor plan is shown above. We see 1,600 square feet of living area. There was an existing unpermitted sunroom, which now becomes a kitchen. There's also some minor tweaks, interior remodel. On the right-hand side, you'll see that there is a proposed bonus room above the garage, just under 300 square feet of living area. The front or north elevations are shown, existing on the top, proposed on the bottom. As I mentioned, the project proposes a bonus room above the garage, which you can see is accommodated with a steeper roof pitch, so that the home maintains its existing one-story appearance from the front. Here we have the rear or south elevation. Again, we're seeing that steeper roof line. There are some minor changes to the second story windows, but for the most part, they're staying roughly the same size and quantity, as well as some lower level window additions. But there are no nearby neighbors to the rear that would be impacted by privacy. East side elevations are shown. As you can see, the lower level addition breaks up the flat facade with massing variation. On this elevation, we're also seeing the main height increase. So the existing height was just under 22 feet, and the proposed height increases to 33 feet 10 inches, which is under the 35-foot maximum for this zoning district. Two small windows on this side, so again, staff does not have concerns with privacy impacts to that lower neighbor. Here we have the west side elevation. You're seeing a greater view of the roof area because of that bonus room addition. We're also seeing a new gable above the side door, matches the proposed slope of the roof in front. Here we have the proposed colors and materials, which are white stucco, some stone at the front entry, dark light fixtures, natural composition shingle roofing, and a dark front door. The project was referred to various outside agencies, and standard comments were received from engineering and the fire district. The project was noticed to the surrounding neighbors and posted 10 days in advance of the meeting, and no public comments were received. Staff's recommendation is to find the project exempt from CEQA and adopt DRC Resolution 2025-15, approving the project subject to the conditions of approval. Thank you.
Okay, do we have any questions for staff? Okay, someone gonna present from the applicant? You have 10 minutes to present, or you can just use the staff report, or whatever you choose to do.
Not unless you have any specific questions, we're happy to walk through anything, but
Okay,
She did an excellent job.
yeah. Yeah.
the questions for them, for staff, I mean, for the applicant?
No.
None, okay. Questions or comments from the public? Do we have any public comments on this project? Yes.
I'm your neighbor on the south.
Excuse me, if you could, just go up to the podium and introduce your name and relationship to the project. Thank you.
And did you fill out a form?
I didn't, I'm sorry, I was.
Okay, when you're done, you can fill in them.
I'm Nancy Sorensen. I am at 1201 El Cortola, which is the south neighbor down the hill. So the only question I have is the windows that look down into my property. Are those gonna change? Are Are they
So
gonna
we-
be bigger, higher?
So
Yeah,
the current window will remain, you can see that there's more windows now than there will be after. So the above has
More
more
windows.
windows. and the
yes,
below
it does,
has two.
okay.
So there'll be actually less windows.
Less
when they're
windows.
done.
And then the little building
On the bottom.
on the bottom,
Yeah, that's from the bathroom, right?
Yeah,
Mhm.
right,
Yeah, so that's
And
from the
that's
bathroom and
lower.
that'll be lower than the fence, like
Oh,
it'll
okay.
be, yeah.
yeah, and I've got a lot of trees.
Yep, yeah.
So
all
that,
of
it
them
works out
there.
real
Yeah,
well.
yeah. Yep,
Unless PG&E takes them out, so.
And that's also a smaller window than the.
it's pretty
existing
small,
one.
yeah.
It's just a little.
Great.
Closet.
Yeah.
It's nice to meet you.
Yeah, you too.
Okay, thank you. Any other comments? Okay, we'll move on to commissioners. Travis, you want to start tonight?
No comment.
No comments, okay?
I think the project looks fine. I think it's an improvement to the existing home. I think I don't see any detriment to the neighborhood, so I support the project.
Yeah, I also support the project. Its color palette is fine, materials are fine, layout is fine. I had no problem with the variance because it's 5 inches different than what we already have, so we can have a finding that it's comparable to other neighbors and within the community. So do we have someone that wants to make the motion on the resolution?
Sure, I'll make a motion that we approve the project, find it exempt from CEQA and adopt the staff recommended resolution.
Okay,
Second.
okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Okay,
Thank you.
good luck. Good luck. Okay, moving on to the next item. This will be HDP 10-25 Flower. This is a request for a hillside development permit and design review.
That's
My wife.
Can you guys do this outside, please?
Oh, yeah, you haven't done there.
For a while.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you.
Sorry about that. Okay, HDP 10-25 Flower. This request for a hillside development permit and design review to construct 203 square feet in addition to an existing 16-17 square foot, 1-story, single-family home with a maximum height of 17 feet 2 inches. And it's located at 3287 Walnut Lane. And
My application. Yes.
are you Ashlyn? I don't know that we've ever met. Okay, Ashlyn, welcome on board.
Thank you.
You want to do your presentation?
Love to. Hi, I'm presenting on a proposed hillside development permit and design review for the construction of 203 square feet in additions at 3287 Walnut Lane. There we go. The project site is 7,200 square feet and is located in St. Mary's Estates in the medium density single family residential general plan district and R10 zoning district. The project site is on the corner of Walnut Lane and Evelyn Court and has an existing single family residence. Here are images of the existing home, the adjacent streets, and neighboring home. The project consists of constructing a 54 square foot addition for an entryway in the front yard and a 149 square foot addition for a dining room in the rear yard. The addition areas are marked by hatching on these plans. The existing house is 1,617 square feet, and with the additions, it would be 1,820 square feet. The project also proposes a new 50 square foot landing with stairs in the front yard, as well as some interior remodel changes. The front addition would add a 12 foot 6 inch tall gable that would extend from the existing roof. The rear addition would be higher than the rest of the house at 17 feet 2 inches tall. The project also proposes new windows and doors, as well as new down-facing exterior light fixtures around the exterior. Here are the side elevations. The rear addition proposes windows on 3 of the sides. However, these are just for access to light, as the inside will still be 1 story. These renderings show the proposed colors. There would be white trim, a gray-blue garage door and front door, and gray-blue and light blue siding. I know it looks kind of white in these pictures, but the color is a light ice, winter something. Winter ice. Here is one more rendering of the proposed back of the house. And there's that winter ice color again. Staff analyzed the project in the following categories and found that the project would be compliant with general plan and design review guidelines. Although the existing house is non-compliant with zoning setbacks, the project would be compliant. The siding and massing would be appropriate for the site and comparable to neighboring 2-story houses. The project would not affect access and parking. It is not expected for the project to have undue impacts on visibility and privacy, nor drainage. There is one unprotected tree with its canopy in the construction area in the front yard, but the applicant would try to save it during construction, so there wouldn't be a significant impact on trees and landscaping. Staff evaluated the project in accordance with CEQA and determined the project to be categorically exempt under existing facilities, additions to existing structures. The project was referred to the following agencies and no notable comments were received. The fire district returned standard comments after the staff report publication. The project was noticed physically and by mail, and no public comment was received. Staff recommends the Design Review Commission finds the project exempt from CEQA and adopt DRC Resolution 2025-13, approving the project subject to conditions. Thank you.
Any questions for Ashlyn?
No.
I have one question for you.
Please.
If I remember correctly on the resolution, this project came in on March. Why does it take 6 months to get to us?
Sometimes,
What,
and
are we asking for too much because we're rejecting all the first submittals? Or are we unclear on what we're asking for? Because sometimes it's like 2 or 3 rounds. To me, it seems like it's a very simple project. 6 months seems extremely long.
valid. Yeah, sometimes the applicant doesn't do the comments I don't recall for this specific project, but things that can take longer are the applicant not, doing the comments in the first round, or, an applicant taking multiple months to resubmit. Those are 2 things that would make the process longer.
Okay. Applicant, do we have an applicant here
There-
tonight or are they on Zoom?
It is Natalie. Would they like to present? I'm not sure.
Natalie, as the applicant, if you'd like to give a brief presentation, please raise your hand in Zoom. Okay, Natalie, whenever you're ready, you can unmute.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
So I was the designer on this project and it's a pretty simple project. As you can see, they just want a little bit more curb appeal at the front. and a little kind of entry area. And at the back, we just wanted to enlarge the dining room. We couldn't go too far back, but made the dining room feel a lot larger with the 1.5-story ceiling. And then allowing us to put those windows up top brings in a lot more light. So just a lot of architectural pleasing details to the exterior of the house as well as the interior of the house. We're not basically changing any of the landscaping. The clients like the way it looks now, so we're gonna try and save and put back what we can. The same as it is now with the permeable surfaces, with the brick, and try and keep the project in keeping with the surrounding area.
Okay, is that it?
Yep.
Okay, commissioners, do we have any questions for the applicant?
No.
None.
None, okay. Any comments from the public on this project?
There are no hands raised.
Okay, do we want to start discussion as the commissioners? Richard?
Sure, I think it's a nice design. And I think it really modernizes the home while still keeping the scale within the character of the neighborhood. So I support the project. I think it looks good.
Thank you.
Agreed. I visited that neighborhood this morning and there are multiple houses just like this, so I see no reason why this is inappropriate. It's a nice modernization.
Yeah, I agree with the other commissioners. It's a very nice modernization. I like what you did in the dining room. I'm ready to approve. Do we have a motion to adopt this project?
Sure, I'll make a motion that we find the project exempt from CEQA and adopt the staff recommended resolution 2025-13.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Aye.
Thank you.
Okay, third project tonight. Thank you very much. This is Trader Joe's. DR 01-25. It's request for design review to enlarge equipment platform, install chain link cyclone fence with vinyl slatting on the eastern portion of the property abutting Mountain View Drive, remodel portions of the interior. And again, the planner is Ashlyn with tonight.
Alright, next I will be presenting on a proposed design review permit for the installation of a new equipment platform and fencing at 3649 Mount Diablo Boulevard, better known as Trader Joe's. The project site is 0.6 acres and is located in a shopping center in the downtown core and retail business district. The project site is on the corner of Mount Diablo Boulevard and Mountain View Drive and has an existing commercial building that is currently occupied by Trader Joe's and Kebab Burger Mediterranean Grill. There's also a parking lot that connects to the rest of the shopping center and various trees and planters around the site. Here are some images of the existing loading zone, fencing, and trash area, as well as the adjacent street. The project consists of installing a 507 square feet concrete equipment platform with fencing on the outer edges. On the ground in front of the equipment platform would be more fencing containing around 137 square feet of existing hardscaping to hide trash bins. The proposed equipment on the platform would be a compressor and a CO2 gas cooler. This equipment is proposed to convert Trader Joe's refrigeration from gas to CO2. The outer fencing for the trash bins shown in the bottom right elevation would be 6 feet tall. Shown in the upper right elevation, the equipment platform is proposed to be 2.5 feet tall with 7 foot tall fencing on top of it, making the maximum height 9.5 feet. All of the fencing is proposed to be chain link with red vinyl privacy slots to match the existing fence. Both fences would have rolling gates for access, and the taller one would have a fixed steel ladder. On the equipment platform, the new compressor would be 14 feet 9 inches long, 3 feet 4 inches wide, and 6 feet 2 inches in height. The new CO2 gas cooler would be 12 feet 8 inches long, 5 feet 7 inches wide, and 7 feet 1 inch in height. The project also proposes some interior remodel changes. These images show the proposed steel ladder, gas cooler, compressor, and the existing fencing that the proposed fencing would match. Staff analyzed the projects in the following categories and found that the project would be compliant with general plan, RB zoning district regulations, and design review guidelines. The siding and massing would be appropriate for the site, and the project would not have undue impacts on parking and drainage, nor trees and landscaping. The project is unlikely to have a significant impact on visibility and privacy due to the existing building and loading zone kind of encompassing the project area. However, it is unclear how impactful the proposed equipment will have on noise. If the commission has concerns regarding noise impacts, staff can add a condition of approval limiting the decibels of the gas cooler and compressor. Although Lafayette Municipal Code already has limits for how loud sound can be at this site during the day and at night. Staff evaluated the project in accordance with CEQA and determined the project to be categorically exempt under existing facilities and accessory structures. The project was referred to the following agencies. Central Sands stated that this project would require upgrades to the sewer system. The fire district submitted comments after staff report publication outlining requirements to submit comments. Outlining requirements for fire safety and site maintenance during construction. Lafayette's engineering department expressed some confusion over how the loading and unloading area would continue to operate, and also expressed concern over the potential impact on the public right-of-way. The applicant said the loading and unloading area and public right-of-way will remain open and operational during the construction of the project. Since the city engineer is out on vacation for a few weeks, I was unable to determine if that satisfied his comment. Since the loading zone is off to the side of the proposed equipment platform, it is not expected to change the current operations. The proposed project is also outside of the existing sidewalk, so it shouldn't affect that. However, if the commission has concerns, a condition of approval for keeping loading operations outside of the public right-of-way can be added. The project was noticed physically and by mail, and no public comment was received. Staff recommends the Design Review Commission finds the project exempt from CEQA and adopt DRC Resolution 2025-14, approving the project subject to conditions.
Questions from commissioners?
No.
I have a question, but maybe
Yeah.
it would be more suited for the applicant.
They are on
Yeah.
Zoom.
Okay, have they used this refrigerant in other local, stores?
That's a good question. I'm not sure.
And does this type of refrigerant cause the compressors to cycle more frequently or less frequently than the existing ones? And if it's been used at another store, do they know what the decibel levels are? Because there's no absorption in that loading dock area. So it's not that it's not shielded from the residents on the other side, but it's a big void of
Right.
hardscape. So I am concerned about, I know that the noise ordinance will cover the L50 level and all that, but I'm not sure that, what we're getting into before we've already started construction.
Totally.
Rosie Felix, you've been promoted, and yeah, feel free to.
Yes.
ask.
Actually, we have been using these compressors throughout most of our Trader Joe's sites nationally. We can send in specs if you guys would like to see. I don't know at the top of my head what the noise level is, but I can definitely send that over to you. But yes, that this is something we've been using or started to implement in all of our stores nationally.
And do you know if it cycles more frequently or not?
I don't.
Okay. Okay, no other questions for staff? Okay, applicant, you're welcome to do your presentation.
I heard Ashlyn mention the agency comments. Definitely working on those on the back end. So we should be wrapping that up probably in the next week or so. So we're definitely keeping that in mind. But other than that, I don't have any other notes.
Okay,
I also just received fire comments today, so I will email those to you, Rosie.
Okay, great. Thank you.
and I assume that it's not gonna be a problem, like with the sanitary, putting in sewer lines in those areas?
That's, yeah.
Correct. Yeah. We've been speaking with the engineer there on the sewer system. But yeah.
Okay,
We haven't had Lafayette opine.
I don't understand.
So Lafayette's engineers out of office currently?
Yes,
Yes, correct.
Yeah, so we're going from 4 to 6 inch.
What was the question?
It's not a question. The existing 4-inch diameter private side sewer will be upsized to a 6 inch.
Okay,
Will that cause any right of way issues?
not that I know of. That didn't seem to be
No, it
his
shouldn't.
concern. I think it was more about the loading area. I think maybe his concern is that that open area right now is currently being used for loading, but that's technically not the loading zone. That's off to the right. So I don't think it should have an impact, but I'm not sure exactly what he meant.
Yeah, I think city engineer review is a standard condition of approval, so.
Yeah, he will need to review
Yeah,
it
so it will
again.
be reviewed by him.
Yeah,
Again.
to get stamps, yeah.
okay, do we have any comments from the public on this project? None. Okay, commissioners? Richard, you wanna go again?
Well, I mean, it seems like a project that's more, what I want to say, just required as far as keeping the facility operational, modernized, energy efficient. So in that sense, you know, as sort of the scope of the project sort of non-optional, put it that way. So then my question really goes to you know, is it adequately screened, and is the screening, you know, acceptable? And my opinion is that it is. In the noise issue, I just don't have enough info to know whether that's a concern or not. But as far as the proposed design of the equipment switch out and the fencing, I would support approval.
Is that a condition?
I wasn't making a motion. I don't know how you others feel about the noise issue. I mean, what I heard is that the city has standard code requirements for noise levels that they would need to comply with, but whether we need something in addition to that, I don't feel like I have enough information to really know whether it's necessary or not. I mean, the site isn't, it is protected from the adjacent residential property just by the building configuration. And to the west, it's commercial property, so. But I don't know, I mean, it could be an issue, I don't know.
Yeah, I agree. It may not be an issue. That's why I asked if there was some other locations, because staff could actually visit like Walnut Creek and say, hey, that doesn't seem to be a problem. Because one of the issues is that it's no absorption in there, and because of health requirements, you're gonna be limited on what you can put in as absorptive material as well. So it's one of those things that if it is a problem, it's gonna be hard to design around. If it isn't a problem, then we know from day one, if they're using it elsewhere already,
Mhm.
you know, we can sort of assess.
Mhm.
It's gonna be a low frequency noise. I mean, that's what, you know, it's gonna be 120 hertz or whatever or lower. But I don't, you know, again, it's covered by the city's noise requirement.
Mhm.
So if they want to look at it in more detail, make sure. Otherwise, they're gonna have a fit afterwards trying to fix it.
Yeah.
Okay, Travis, any other questions or comments?
No,
Okay, do we have a motion on this?
So I'll make a motion again. I recommend that we approve the project, find it exempt from CEQA and adopt the staff recommended resolution.
Okay, do you have a second on this?
second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Other business, art volunteer, I will volunteer for Friday. Commissioners' reports. I have nothing to report. Does anyone else?
No.
Staff liaison report?
None.
None. Adjournment. Thank you. You came back